Hello everyone, and welcome to our presentation on zebra mussels. We'll be going over what zebra mussels are, the problem that the invasive species represents, and finally some solutions to the problem. Minnesota is the land of 10,000 lakes. That means when it comes to one of the top 9 worst aquatic invertebrate invasive species in the world, we need to take an active role in protecting our waterways. Zebra mussels are a type of mollusk that reproduces and spreads aggressively. A single female can produce anywhere from 100,000 to 500,000 eggs in a year. Furthermore, both the young and more mature mussels spread through multiple routes quite easily. These rapid growing populations of zebra mussels can have major impacts environmentally, economically, and recreationally. Luckily, we can take responsibility for their part in the spread of the mussels, and there are treatments in development for getting rid of these mussels on a wider scale. One of the main reasons zebra mussels are a problem is that they harm native species. In order to survive, they must attach to something, which means they sometimes attach to native species. This process can end up killing the animal that they're attached to. With few predators and quick reproduction, they can quickly overwhelm a local ecosystem. They consume food that would otherwise go to native filter-feeding species and multiply in numbers very quickly. Zebra mussels are also known to adversely affect water quality in their invaded habitats. They do this through a number of ways, one being the process of biomagnification. This is when zebra mussels filter out toxins in the water, which are then concentrated in zebra mussels themselves. This sounds good until you realize that they are later consumed by predators, which ends up with predator species having the toxins passed on to them. They can also rapidly consume phytoplankton and algae that is normally sustainably consumed by native species. This process of increasing the clarity of water in invaded habitats allows for the process of eutrophication. This means that plant growth explodes with increased amounts of nutrients, which then decreases the oxygen in the water, killing local species. Another problem with zebra mussels is that they clog water intake pipes. This affects factories, power plants, water treatment plants, and really anywhere that zebra mussels have access to. Zebra mussels will leave their shells before they die, which is one of the factors in clogging water intake pipes, but also can sometimes make beaches dangerous with their sharp shells that wash ashore. According to the Minnesota DNR, the zebra mussel was originally brought to the Great Lakes and Superior Harbor sometime between 1988 and 1989. A cargo ship with contaminated ballast water, the water that balances a ship with low cargo, brought the mussels into the body of water. Along with the example of contaminated ballast water, zebra mussels can be transferred through water equipment. For this reason, it is important to always check boats, swim rafts, boat lifts, and anchors when transporting them between different bodies of water to make sure that there are no zebra mussels present that you could infect a new body of water with. While less common, zebra mussels can also be spread by animals, such as ducks and geese, and through downstream flow. These modes of spread are much more reliant on specific conditions, but still a concern. This figure shows how many zebra mussels have attached to different modes of transport after being submerged for 2 lengths of time. Clearly, ducks have less mussels than waders or keep nets, but still serve as methods for their spread. Through the downstream flow, the larvae of zebra mussels can make their way into new bodies of water. Not surprisingly, dispersal this way is more common than when the 2 bodies of water are connected by shorter streams and rivers, but with enough time, mussels will still find their way to the next body of water. With Minnesota's complex system of water connections, this method of transport poses a large threat to our uninfected waters. These modes of transport are examples for why we need to take control of zebra mussel populations very seriously. The spread of zebra mussels is exponential. While we can't stop ducks from using different bodies of water or stop the flow of water over the landscape, we can continue this work to find large-scale solutions to this issue. One way that we can thwart the spread of zebra mussels is through inspection and cleaning of equipment we use in the water. This means inspecting boats, tubes, nets, boards, kayaks, and other items that can be brought into a new body of water. Firstly, mud, animals, and plants should be thoroughly removed from the equipment, and all bilge water, live wells, and bait buckets should be drained. Then you can wash all the equipment that has come in contact with the water, even if there aren't any visible zebra mussels, just in case there could be zebra mussel larvae. It's important to not let any of this cleaning or draining water run into a new body of water, which would ultimately defeat the purpose. Finally, dry any aquatic equipment in the sun for about a week before putting it in a new body of water. Following these steps can effectively keep your pontoon, jet ski, or other aquatic equipment from being the reason that another body of water is invaded by zebra mussels. Once a body of water is already infested, complete eradication is rare and very difficult. One of the very few success stories comes from Lake Waco in Texas, where the infestation was caught extremely quickly, and the city of Waco, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department, and a team of boats, heavy equipment, and commercial divers were able to suffocate existing zebra mussels to prevent reproduction using plastic and sandbags to cover an acre of shoreline and lake bottom. This technique can harm other organisms and is nearly impossible to pull off if there is already an established population. Physical removal of mussels is only effective small scale and doesn't accomplish much for large infestations. Hot water can kill zebra mussels, but can also harm other organisms. Therefore, it isn't recommended for whole lake application. Chemical treatment is the best route for wide-scale treatment of mussels. Dozens of chemical treatments have been tested, but nothing has been approved to eradicate zebra mussels while leaving native species completely unharmed. Fortunately, there have been small, positive steps taken in recent research that are getting closer to us finding the right treatment. A study published in September of this year found multiple combinations of chemicals that work synergistically together and are effective at eradicating zebra mussels. This study, however, took place in a lab setting, and these chemicals' effects on native species have not been studied. Nevertheless, this is a step in the right direction, and hopefully we will soon be able to have an effective zebra mussel treatment. Until then, this is why it is so important for everyone to work together to prevent the spread of this devastating invasive species. Everyone from Group 6 would like to thank you for completing our presentation on zebra mussels. Hopefully you can use this information to help the efforts to stop the spread of zebra mussels in Minnesota. Thanks.